Yo, yes now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now, people. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. It's been a while. We did Blondie's first record a little bit back. I'll tell you what it found. I found a lot of varied ideas and cool instrumental melodic ideas and so forth. But I felt like they hadn't created what I am expecting of this band at that point. So it's taken me a little while, but I'm coming back with album number 2, Plastic Letters. This one's entitled. The first song's entitled Fan Mail. For the Blondie heads out there, I do know you out there because I got given heaps of information, heaps of history, and answers to the questions I was asking in the initial run through. This one goes out for you. We got 17 tracks, which let me have a look if they're all music. Yeah, well, we've got one live song at the end. Probably not going to listen to that. Here we go, Fan Mail, track number 1, relatively short songs. I'm all up for that. Let's go. When was this put out? Have we got any factoids? 1978. 1978, and Blondie, or Debbie Harry, hasn't got credits for any of this. Composer and lyricist Jimmy Destry. I smile at you sideways, but the lighting is wrong. I'm taking a picture and counting the cost while the bells in my ears keep ringing. As much, it's very relative to the times. It does sound like, I don't know actually. I was just gonna make a stupid comment just to try and make sense out of it. The band sounds like they should be both existing within the 80s and the 60s at the same time, not the 70s, you know. Them synthesizers sound very 60s to me, whereas I don't know. The band as a whole are definitely very 80s in my opinion, but that's the Blondie I know of, you know, just through hit songs and when I've seen them referenced in pop culture. Nice. That was Fan Mail by Blondie. Interesting number. Good introduction to the record. Cool showcase of what they're capable of and the instrumental value of the band within the first song. The guitar solo and the change of the atmosphere was really good. We introduced that tambourine, we intensified everything. Sometimes when a solo comes in, the instrumental actually reels back a little bit to give a bit more shine to the guitar, but we actually boosted up it as a whole. So that was pretty cool. We got Dennis coming up next with an official music video, 2 minutes 13. So this is going to be interesting. Let's keep going. Yes, now, bless now, don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blondie tonight, Plastic Letters. Dennis is the title of this one. It's a brief one at 2:13, but also comes with a music video. Let's jump straight in. But you know what? This is interesting because I'd say this was a 60s sound, but there was a genre of music I got into at one point called twee pop, which was a 90s, well, arguably late 80s, 90s sort of pop, indie garage rock pop revival, and they took this sound definitely. Boys wanted her, girls wanted to be her. Denise. Was that a modulation there? Did we go up? Slow-mo head motions, look. I like the heavenly glow from the lights there. That's nice. It's like they're performing on top of the pops or something. Was there any correlation between Debbie Harry and Marilyn Monroe? Is there any sort of influence or inspiration in there? Because the classic look over the shoulder, cheeky, you know, youthful look. That was a great hook. That was a great hook. I thought that was a good tune. That was definitely better than the first song. Just taking a little moment to read the comments here. The Debbie Harry fandom here. No doubt the most beautiful, talented woman in history. Somebody said, what about Kate Bush? Kate Bush had one great song. Blondie filled any vinyl with a lot of great songs. Somebody says, you're taking the piss. They were not just pretty faces, they made great music. There we go. Got Bermuda Triangle Blues coming up next. Let's keep going. Ooh, da-dee-da. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. Waiting for my coffee to cool down. We're on track number 3 of Plastic Letters. We're listening to Blondie. We got, let's call it 16 tracks on this. And here we are at track number 3. Come on. Denny was a beautiful number. Right, little earworm. Nice soothing number, this one, eh? Majority of these songs are under 3 minutes. John Matt 62 says, cool thing about this song is that there's no verse chorus, it's just a story. Yeah, sometimes just going from A to B and just having you follow the storyline is the most organic means of doing it. That's very traditional, eh? Very traditional. Come on. Little bit of a Pink Floyd in that resolution. Come on. I don't have much to say on that. I won't follow in the lyrical content. Yeah. We referenced this comment here saying that there's no verse chorus, it's just a story. That's alright within reason. My personal taste, I'm a cheesy guy. I like a cheeky melody. I like a chorus. That's always good enough for me. I don't want to get invested. Like, the thing I find with like storytelling numbers as well is once you've heard the story, it's never going to be as good as when you hear it the second time around, and so on and so forth. But a good infectious melody only gets stronger the more you listen to it. We've got Youth Nabbed as a Sniper coming up next, alright? There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. This is track number 4 of Plastic Letters. We've got 16 numbers on this, so a very healthy record. Youth Nabbed as a Sniper, let's go. Interesting song title. I don't think it flows too well in all honesty. Here we go. Some punk rock drum in here. I mean, if this was put out in 78, this is, you know what I mean? Especially, where are we at? This is a British band, right? Blondie British? I know, I've definitely asked this question last time. It should be, right? It should be a British band. This is where punk rock was above and beyond. You know what I mean? 1 year after 77. I don't know when in 77 UK punk sort of had its thing. Come on, here we go. I've only just clocked onto that bass guitar. Bass guitar's pretty chunky, eh? Is distorted the right word? I don't know. What's going on? Or am I hearing the guitar there? Like a rhythm guitar, perhaps. That's been dubbed in the mix. I don't know. Let's have a little look at who we're putting respect on tonight. So, producer, Richard Gotera. Kevin Flaherty as the producer. I know I've mispronounced that, so my apologies. Studio personnel and engineer, we've got Rob Freeman. Mastering engineer, Greg Calby. Mastering engineer, Kevin Bartley. And lyricist, we've got Chris Stein. Or Steen, perhaps. We got no credits for the instrumental on the track, unfortunately. Which is ridiculous when you think about it, but hey, I guess we are listening to the mastered record. We're not necessarily watching a live performance, so I guess it makes sense to some degree. We've got Contact in Red Square coming up next, alright, which is track number 5. Let's go. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We've got the shortest one so far here at 2 minutes 02. We're listening to Plastic Letters by Blondie. This is Contact in Red Square. Let's go. Pure James Bond vibes from the get-go on this one.
Although I'm young, I got a job to do. Get the microfilm in the lining of my shoe. Call it a business trip. Gotta hide.
American band, their CBGB's reference.
I got my papers in a cyanide bill. My Polaroids are taser in
Great
the
tempo.
sky. There's a face on the hill, and the beat feels looks like Kansas in November.
Come on. Here we go.
And trust the soul, secret messenger. Just the rules that lie like circuits in your brain.
Man, them keys are screaming throughout this record. That synthesizer is very powerful in the mix. Not in a bad way. It creates a whole new depth to what it would have sounded like prior. The drum is cool. Drummers throw a little bit of tempo, a little bit of power into the mix.
45, the wind is ice and foreign air tastes rain. ICBM, and then you're dead. No one left to worry. Kiss me quick, now I have to hurry. Our last contact in Red Square. Yes, I have to run. And the long arms of the CIA protect me.
It feels to me, or it seems to me, that the fans of this band are very invested in the songwriting and the lyrical content. Me a little less so. They definitely got a broad range of influence and... what's the word? I don't know what word I'm looking for, but as far as the actual choice of lyrical content, they've got a broad range of different ideas, which is pretty good. I don't have too much more to say other than that, in all honesty. We've got another music video coming up, which I really like the last one, Denis. I thought that was really good. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm always touched by your presence, dear. No doubt another good one. I feel that heaps of the band's star power is through their image. So I think the music videos do them a real big favour. Over here on this channel, we don't really care about music videos because we're here for the music. But I think this band in particular, not to devalue the music because the music is great, but the image of the band is just fantastic. You know, the star power behind Debbie Harry and her crew. Let's keep going, alright? I'll see you on track number 6 of Plastic Letters. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget the rest. Now there's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Plastic Letters is what we're listening to. The album, of course, Track 6 is 17, or track 6 is 16, because we're not going to do the live track at the end of this. It's entitled, I'm Always Touched by Your Presence, Dear. Okay, let's jump straight in. Yeah, the last music video one we had for Denise was pristine, it was magical, it was great. Let's go. We're coming in like the monkeys, come on.
Was it destiny? I don't know yet. Was it just by chance? Could this be kismet? Something in my consciousness told me you'd appear. Now I'm always touched by your presence, dear. When we play at cards, you use an extra sense. It's really not cheating. You can read my head, I've got no defense.
Let me just say, one thing that this man utilizes very well, or at least Debbie Habby, that's her new name, by the way, Miss Habby. The way she uses ad-libs, there's a fair few ad-libs that are scattered through these songs, and they're very unique. They're very unique.
When you send your
They're very bold as well.
whispered loud and clear, I am always touched by your presence, dear. Floating past the evidence of possibility, we could navigate together, psychic frequencies.
Here we go. Spirited, upbeat music. He's straight out of the 60s, him.
Coming into contact with outer entities. We could enter
Them drum fills, eh?
each one with our philosophy. Stay awake at night and catch your REM.
Said, if this song came out today, it still sounds very modern and up to date. I doubt that. I don't say that in a negative way, but it's also polished and, no pun intended, very plastic as far as production is concerned nowadays. It's run away with everything. I wouldn't say they would be pop artists with a sound like this. They could probably have the same song maybe, but there's going to be a different production, definitely.
When you're talking with your super friends, levitating lovers in the secret stratosphere, I'm still in touch with your presence, dear. I'm still in touch with your presence, dear. I'm still in touch with your presence, dear, 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 dear.
I'm still in touch with your presence, dear.
I always say, like, you
Well, what we were singing about then, plenty of alien, extraterrestrial references. Outer World. I'm on E, which is quite a funny song title. Surely it's I'm on Empty, as opposed to what we would later know as being on E. But let's find out. We've got track number 7 coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blondie, Plastic Letters. This one's entitled I'm on E. As referenced, I think more than likely I'm on Empty as opposed to I'm on Ecstasy. Let's find out. I'm on E too. Ramones are talented too. With her money, I'm sure she could afford a car. This sounds like the Ramones.
I'm on it, got nothing to say. I do have a car of my own. I'm on it for England.
I can see people referencing the Ramones. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe a week.
A little more colourful than the Ramones.
I'm on it to
That's pretty punk rock. I'm a great big fan of whistling in songs. I love whistling. It's very rare that somebody doesn't do whistling justice on a song. I'm a big fan. I like whistling. I'm on E. I'm on E. I'm on E. Good number, that. Good number. We're listening to Blondie. We got a nice little debate here in the comments because somebody says this sounds like the Ramones if the Ramones had talent. Actually, Blondie is copying Ramones' original style in this tune. Ramones were very talented. They just were rawer. Blondie was more open to other influences than other old school blah blah blah. So, somebody referenced in the comment section of another video that this was a CBGB's band. So by default, they must have been knocking around with the Ramones, which is very interesting. Imagine that, historically speaking, as far as music is concerned. And CBGB's gets a lot of props, but I don't think CBGB's gets the props as far as the literal influence and impact it had on alternative music, like to this day. All of these great bands coming from them. Somebody said the Ramones and Blondie were very good friends, and then somebody else has just spammed. We've got track number 8 coming up. I didn't have the nerve to say no. All right, I'll see you there. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blondie. I didn't have the nerve to say no is the title of this one. Track number 8 of 17, or 8 of 16. Let's go.
You got ants in your pants, I don't understand, I don't trust a flick of your eye. You're a viper and love to fever. You said something profane and went profane, but it's funny old delicate touch. I should have known as much. Oh, Peter, I didn't have the nerve to say no.
Come on. I like this. One of the best and first punk bands, says Def Jeff. The cover for this album is very punk rock. Okay, I'm going to ask you, the listener, a comment. Is Blondie a punk rock band? Let me know. Is Blondie a punk rock band? I can see the energy, but I think it's definitely up for debate. I think it's up for debate. Great little bridge there. These lot are jamming. Great tone on that guitar there at the end. There was a heaviness to that, even though it was just clean twinkling. It was nice. That was a good tune. Yeah, I thought that was a catchy one. I like the instrumental. I like the bridging sections. Drummer knows when to throw a little fill in. I don't know if the drummer is a bit too powerful for the band, in all honesty. Because maybe it's a production thing. Because when them drum fills come in, you can't help but be, blown away by the drum fills. And it's not a bad thing. Like, it's showcase of ability, but I feel like this band wants to be a little more streamlined. And the drummer just sort of adds this awkward technicality at times. We've got Love at the Pier coming up next, alright? Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget the rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, listening to Plastic Letters. I'll tell you what, we've got 16 numbers on this thing, but with the song lengths, it's just flying by. It's not an issue whatsoever. Normally my attention span's like, oh, bro, this is actually very pleasing for my attention span, because whether you love it or you hate it, you're moving on to the next track in not too long. Love at the Pier. Let's go. Track number 9.
We fell in love down at
Come
the
on.
pier. You were sunbathing, I was around. Soon we were sharing a beer. Fell in love at the pier. I'm no sentimental slob, so don't think I'm queer. You got something, baby, and it ain't just my dear. Well, maybe it's the hot pants, maybe the heat. Or was it the sneakers you kicked off your feet?
This is a great tune. This great energy to this.
I got under my umbrella, keep my pearly skin.
Come on.
Change your army body, looking like this. Well, soon I was sweating and I wanted to leave. We slipped into the waterfront, too much peace. I saw you yelling, I just couldn't hear, so I screamed back at you, honey, keep the beer. We never once made it outside of a fair. Too much foreign water, too much fire. Oh, what a tragic end to love and love is lost. We would have stood a chance if we met in the frost, but we fell in love down at the pier. You were sunbathing on the Now I go to beaches with my girlfriend. No more love splitters in my rear end.
That was a good tune. That was probably my favourite one. The backing vocals and that, I know it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but I didn't like the backing vocals and all this and that. I didn't think it was necessarily like the ad-lib vocals, but I liked the energy of the tune. I liked the vocal line. I liked the instrumental. Yeah, I thought that was probably my favourite one we've heard so far. I thought that was a right little shin shaker, you know what I mean? That little bit of rock and roll. That was good. We got No Imagination coming. This is the song for me coming up next. No Imagination. Track number 10. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Plastic Letters through and through. Track number 10. Let's go. No Imagination. Does the Blondie fan base have a name?
Eyes that tell me, baby, you don't need no invitation. Let me smoke another cigarette before I make a move. I can see me in the morning, losing my direction, deep inside my overcoat, looking for the door. I don't wanna stay with you, I just wanna play with you. One sweet abbreviation, seek
Very varied band. Very varied band. Seems the sort of band who could just write and write and write and write. I'd be surprised if this was every song they had at this point. You know, I bet they had a couple more that they could have thrown on the record, but decided against it. They seem like they're very creative together. No doubt with the different ideas and sounds they conjure as a band. I say it as a compliment, but it's a very inconsistent band. You don't know what you're going to get next. One of the greatest lyricists of all time, says SX Nico, but I bet if we look here, we'll find somebody else. Composer and lyricist Jimmy Destry. It's not, you know, unless they're referring to Jimmy. It seems we've had a couple of lyricists on this record. Debbie Harry not being one of them. Have we got any Heart fans on?
Tell me, baby, you don't need no invitation. Let me smoke another cigarette before I make a move. I can see me in the morning, losing my direction. Deep inside my overcoat, footsteps for the door.
Quite a slow mover, that one. It's not one for me. It wasn't one for me. I like the tempo. I like their high tempo numbers from this band. I like the major upkey shin shakers. I think that's what they do the best, personally. We've got Kidnapper coming up at track number 11. Hold on tight, hold on tight, hold on tight. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget the rest now. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blondie, Plastic Letters. Okay, you know that by now. We're on track 11, entitled Kidnapper. Let's go.
You got an unnerving face, a twitching eyes like Norman Bates. You got a cigarette.
Little bluesy number, eh?
Eye on a mirror, cowboy brown gas station.
Here we go.
You took that girl, you put the saddle on her, just 13. She's a daddy's apple and she don't know you're the kidnapper. Your daddy's whiskey Sam, you got bloodshot eyes like Raymond Lamb, playing solitaire. Your mother fidgets, you wanna be rich.
I'd bust a solo over this.
She bitches like a brat. She got the money, people breaking man mix, and she thinks it's funny. Where's your old man now? Nobody's home, Kidnapper, 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 kidnapper. Well, she don't know you're the kidnapper. Hey, they call you Skinny Jim, and nobody knows the boat you're in. They dipped your tail when you were back in school for your new strange cake, but you're nobody's fool. So you took that girl, you put the saddle on her, just 13. She's fresh out of diapers and she don't know you're the kidnapper.
Here we go. Little guitar solo. Has to be. Guitarist needs to bust a solo. It had to be done. Had to be done.
She don't know you're looking at wrong. Where's your old man now? Nobody's home. Well, she don't know you're looking at wrong.
Good tune, good tune. I mean, it just goes to show the vast spectrum of sound this band can create, the influence and, you know, variety of the band instrumentally, because most bands will come together, create a band, and not necessarily know where to go or how to step outside of the box, but by default, this band just steps outside of the box each and every song. You don't know what you're going to get next. Got a music video coming up, Detroit 442. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Plastic Letters by Blondie. This is track number 12, entitled Detroit 442. Let's go. Jeez Louise. Punk Rock 101, eh? Sure, sexy as hell. Let's be fair. Right, I bet punk rockers. I can see why this woman would get put on like some mythical pedestal. She's gorgeous, man. Like as far as punk rock imagery is concerned, as far as rock and roll is concerned, let's have a look at the comments. People who think they know Blondie said they're not punk rock, the pop music. Who knows Blondie's greatest hits? I mean, don't get me wrong, half of it is image. It's hardly like you're listening to Chaos UK or out like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely rock and roll at the very least, eh? I love the attitude of Debbie Harry here, pretty iconic. Don't make them like her anymore. You know what? It's mad because they do make them like her anymore, but they're always going to be brushed off as a Debbie Harry wannabe. Let's be fair. Blondie's early stuff was pure genius, fusing punk with pop and giving it a pretty face. Punk is just patchwork music. It means mixing accordion with pop, and harmonica is punk. You don't fuse punk with it. I don't know what this guy said. Man, Blondie's band were freaking amazing. That drummer sounded like a type metal drummer. No, he didn't. No chance. Actually, kinda does, kinda. Come on. Always makes me think Detroit Rock City by Kiss. I mean, let's be real, the band looks pretty cool as well. This guy looks like he's straight from the Ramones. This guy on guitar here, straight from the Ramones. Middle guy looks like he should be in the Kooks or something.
Baby, I can drive with you. One more to market, one more to get,
Forget.
just like me.
putting on a bit of performance with that one, eh? That was a good number. That was a good number. To be honest, I was blown away by how good she looked in that one. Musically speaking, it was alright, you know. We got Cautious Lip coming up next, which is track number 13, alright. Yes, now bless now. Don't forget rest now. Des ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. This is the longest track on the record, I believe, at 4 minutes 32 seconds. Cautious Lip, it's entitled. We're listening to Plastic Letters by Blondie, track 13 of 16. Let's jump straight in. It'd help if I had my headphones on though, right? Let's go. A little fade in for this. We got the time. We got the time. Little emotive number, this.
I see you skip that cautious lip. Now tell me this through that cautious lip. You can be bit as I make you it. I see you skip that cautious lip.
Come on.
A chance you'll bit that cautious lip. It's just these things, not really gifts. It's just these things, not really gifts. I see you skip that cautious lip.
Where we going? Where we going? Where we going?
I seen you skip that cautious but never miss my bouncing hips. A girl so sweet, a love so strong. I seen you skip, I seen you tip.
That crash sounds super powerful.
Can be bit as I make it. I seen you.
I don't know if I like the crash. The crash is a bit too powerful, I'd say, in comparison to the dynamic of the rest of the instrument.
That cautious lip.
Well, oh.
I seen you skip that cautious lip.
Come on. I didn't see this coming. Skip it a bit. Skip it a bit. That was Cautious Lip. I thought that was a nice change. I mean, I know we're changing and switching and going everywhere from song to song. Whole great big broad dynamic of sounds we're getting. But that was, you know, the tempo and the atmosphere and the energy that one brought in particular. I thought was a great break from the norm. You know. I thought that was really good. I thought it was a good tune. Like I said, I sort of fell out with the crash cymbal in particular. The drummer can't sort of reel back the power. He's a powerhouse of a drummer, and he shouldn't have been connecting as harshly as he was during that one. I think a little more of a lesser, relaxed, reeled back emphasis on what he was doing probably would have been a bit better. But that's just what it was. I mean, once I was listening to that crash cymbal just bashing at every measure, I just thought, wow, it's a bit too much. Once I Had a Love, aka the disco song, is coming up next door, right? At 163,000 views. People like a bit of disco, eh? So let's keep going. Yes, no, bless, no, don't forget rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blondie, Plastic Letters. This is track number 14 of 16, so we're nearing the end now. It's entitled Once I Had a Love, aka the disco song. Let's go. Yeah, we're grooving. Heart of Glass. Pain in the ass. I guess this is a showcase of the difference regarding the recording processes and the sound engineering from this to the hit song they had, eh? It's not bad production, but compared to the hit song, you know. Cowbell. You know what, this one I can comment on a little more fluently than I have done on the last songs, because of course I know Heart of Glass and I've heard it quite a few times. It's quite nice to listen to this more laid back, more band version, you know what I mean? And when I say band, I mean it's a little more human, it's a little less polished. You can hear the band members coming together to create this song, as opposed to it just being like Blondie at the forefront and the rest of the instrumental just creates this, you know, foundation for her to sing these melodies, these infectious, catchiest melodies. Here we can hear the whole band as one coming together to create this song. And it sounds good.
I'm the one you're using, please don't push me aside. We could have made it cruising, yeah.
Come on now. Here we go. We've actually got a credit for lyricist Debbie Harry on this one. First time I've clocked on to Debbie Harry being notified as a lyricist, which is good. Bit of songwriting credit.
I thought was her gas. Soon turned out to be a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
Seemed like the real thing, but I was so blind. Much mistrust, love's gone behind.
That was Once I Had a Love, aka the disco song. That was nice. It was nice to hear it stripped back and, you know, the polish wiped off of that number. I thought it sounded quite good. It had a completely different atmosphere. A lot more laid back. A lot more calm. Margaritas on the beach. No messing about. We've got Scenery coming up next, which is track number 15. So I'll see you there. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Scenery is the title of this one. Track number 15 of 16. Plastic Letters is what we're listening to. Let's jump in. A hidden gem, says Gerard Russell.
We took too long to park the car.
Bassist's jamming on this one. Like a Motown bass line.
Your face said it was 4 o'clock. I closed my eyes and heard a shot. The traffic lights were much too hot. I walked my eyes around the block. Purple shadows were so thin. I had to close my eyes again. I didn't know they were important to you. I thought their faces were posters. Natural things, scenery.
Nice little shindig. Good tempo to this one. Hidden gem, quite possible. A lot of bassline movement in this one. I think with the guitar being such high register, you can't help but just allow the bassline to exist. Very bold.
Saw sound slip out silently. Time passenger to future shock. I closed my eyes and saw you drop. I didn't know they were important to you. I thought their faces were posters. Natural things, scenery.
I like that one. I like that one. I was surprised because at 36,000 views, it's definitely not the favourite of the people. That might be the lowest view count we've had. But it goes to show how subjective it all is. I thought I liked the energy to that one. I thought that was a good tune. I really like the moving bass line. I like the guitar melodies. And I was happy with that. Let's finish off. We've got Poet's Problem to finalise, yes? There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV, track 16 of 16, Poet's Problem. Let's finish this record off. We're listening to Plastic Letters. We have been listening to Plastic Letters. This is Blondie. Let's go. Last track of the record.
Poet's problem, patron sin, puts me in the place I'm in.
Come on.
Passion's letter, poison's pen. On these two things I can't depend. You will write your number, that's not all. I will not be there when you go. I think I'll do a line and then again. Dirty dealers, school of thought, an armchair for the strength is lost. The TV set's been on all night. You were wrong, and I was right.
Come on.
You will write your number on the wall.
Jamming. Come on.
I will not be there when you come. I think I'll do a line and then again. Write your number.
So this was not on the Plastic Letters album. Was this a B-side for the remaster?
Not all. I will not be there when you call. You will write your number on the wall. I will not be there when you call. I think I'll do a line and then again.
Then again. Think I'd do a line in there again. The Poet's Problem. A lot of depth, a lot of thought to go into the writing of a single line, the rewriting of a line. You hear the stories of poets and some songwriters. Who was the one who did Hallelujah? Jason Summit, maybe? I don't know. The guy who did Hallelujah, apparently he had a thing of, he'd just go through notebooks and notebooks to conjure up the right line, making the most of something, alright? Is it analysis paralysis? What do you think? But that was Poet's Problem. I thought that was a good tune. As the commenter said, maybe it wasn't on the original recording of Plastic Letters. It wasn't on the original album. I'm going to do one last video where I'll give you an overview of this and we'll call it a day, alright? I'll give it a rating as well. I'll see you there. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We've just listened to Plastic Letters by Blondie, alright? The second record. We did listen to the self-titled a little bit back now, which I felt was the band sort of, well, you know what? Initially, before I listened to this record, I thought it was the band finding itself. You know, it was early days, and I felt there was a lot of maturity there pre-existing, but there was a little more to be found, a little more of a settling down to be done where the band found its true, sound. But then I've listened to this record, and the spectrum is still as broad. And when I say that, I mean the variety of songwriting, the variety of influence and ideas. There's heaps of different approaches to these songs. You're not going to hear the same song twice. It's really quite fantastic as far as a creative perspective is concerned. Now, I may have listened to the remaster, so I think I might have had more tracks on what was on the original release. I didn't listen to track 17 as it was a live performance, but we had 16 tracks on my experience of listening to the record. You tell me how many was on the original. and we'll go from there. I'm only judging purely as somebody in the comment section spoke of Poet's Problem not being on the initial release, and that's really it. 3 different music videos, which goes to show there was a little bit of a decent budget behind this one. I think there was more music videos on this one than there was on the debut. The music video is really good, and I feel like the music videos gave us the magic. They showed that Blondie was beyond a sound, was beyond the band. They were a very good looking bunch, and they had star power. Like, the band definitely has star power, and I would argue that's so much of the selling point of this band. Yeah, so much of why people love them. Of course, you had Debbie Harry, who in one particular video, Detroit 442, geez Louise, she was looking very good, you know? I didn't want to jump straight into that, but I couldn't help myself on that one. She looked absolutely fantastic, and you could see why she was the poster girl of, you know, a lot of people worldwide, even to this day, you know, even to this day. What an iconic identity. Yes. Music wise, there wasn't anything that necessarily stuck to mind. The tune Denise I thought was the best hook, but other than that, there wasn't any hooks that was like so bold I remember them to this point. Like I said, it was a very varied record, so you know, musically speaking, you have a lot of different ideas. And lyrically speaking, very conceptual, you know, very unique conceptually. Not just writing love songs, not just writing, you know, breakup songs, not just writing, you know, songs that fit the mold, approaching very particular niche topics and just attacking them with that lyrical and songwriting effort, which was a good showcase of songwriting capability. Yeah. It seemed as if there was a little bit of a pass the parcel with songwriting credits. 2 fellas in particular taking the main gist, where we did have Debbie Harry credited 1 or 2 times. All right, for the most part, she was singing the songs as to whom the others had penned, it seemed, on this particular record at least. Had a little introduction to what was to become, you know, a big massive hit with Once I Had a Love, aka the disco song. That was good. It was nice to hear that variation of it. As far as the band is concerned, drummer was very rock and roll, I think even to a detriment of the band at times, because sometimes we had this lesser dynamic where we wanted it to be a little more quiet, a little less audacious, but the drummer just came in, just absolutely battering the drums all around the board 24/7, even to an extent where sometimes I was listening to the drum fills, and admittedly the drum fills were good, tight, technical, but it wasn't needed for the band. It was not needed. It was a bit too overt. You know where I'm coming from. Guitar work was good. Plenty of twinkling guitars. No over excessive playing. Bassist was good. Had his time to shine throughout a lot of it. Keys. When the keys were performing in the band, they really created a great depth in addition to what else were going on. As far as rating this record, I don't know what I gave the last one, but I'll give this a 5 to a 5.5. Purely as I'm not going to return to it, and there's nothing that necessarily stuck out to me. It wasn't a record that appealed to me. You know, an awkward contrast between the singer-songwriter-esque pop element of the band and the rock and roll / punk. It was, to me, unique, yes, but a bit confused. I would have preferred just taking one route or the other, in all honesty. Big, catchy, melodic choruses, or, you know, a bit of punk rock attitude. One of the two and stick with it. That's what I was thinking. So, that was Blondie, Plastic Letters. I am going to continue on through the discography because I know people love Blondie, so let me know. Peace.